All righty, Ryan, we're going to kick it off here.
Sounds
So,
great.
yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. This is my buddy Ryan with Bank of Springfield. Ryan's been my guy, mortgage loan guy for, I don't know, Ryan, what are we going on relationship wise? Probably about 4 or 5 years,
Yeah,
which is strong considering I've only been doing it for, 6 or 7. So,
yeah.
wanted to take a little bit of time today introducing him, his business, what Ryan's about, ways that he can kind of help you, looking at buying a home in 2025 and yeah, just maybe some ideas or tips that people don't exactly know about. So, want to kick it off here. Ryan, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Kind of what do you do when you're not working? Just a little, personal intro.
Yeah, thanks, man. First off, I worked with your mom, who was just fantastic for many years, and just loved her to death. And she thought the world of you. And I know she is smiling down, man. And I, not to get too much into it, but I just, her voicemails were always the best. You just listen to her voicemails, so it was great. So yeah, I've been doing this since 1999. I started, pretty much right away, and been doing it for about 25 years now. So there's always ups, there's always downs. I truly love the business. I love being on the phone helping people out. Um, I owned a mortgage company for a long time, and then I've worked for a few banks after that. I've been with Bank of Springfield for almost 6 years, so it's been great.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about, so you said 99 getting in the business. I guess what were some of the things that you did before you took on or before you got into lending, before you got into banking and things of that nature? What was Ryan doing beforehand?
Yeah, 1999, a long time ago, right? Just pretty much coming out of college.
Okay.
I lived North County. I'm a North County guy, and then my parents moved away to Wisconsin, so my brother and I bought a house in Florissant and kind of just kept going from there. So yeah, it's right now I coach a ton of sports. I have 4 kids. I have a 16-year-old boy. My daughter's 15, and I have two 12-year-old twins that play a lot of football and basketball. So majority of my time is there outside of work.
Okay. So Ryan says he coaches and you can't see it on the camera right now, but he is every bit of what, 6'5", 6'6", good ball
Yeah,
player, I'm sure, and
yeah,
coaches him up now. So that's
yeah.
awesome. That's
It's a
awesome.
blessing. It's a blessing, man. I've been super fortunate. The job I have allows me to do it. The bank says it's fine. They like us doing volunteer hours, so it really works out well for us. I'm very fortunate.
Awesome. Awesome. And before we jump in any further, I guess I didn't touch on this beforehand, but you kind of get an idea from, the coaching background and whatnot. But Ryan is just about as personable as they come. Trustworthy, diligent. I mean, everything you want in your mortgage, specialist, Ryan is there. I always tell folks it's important to have a team in unison when buying a home. The real estate agent is important, yes, and of course the client is the one calling all the shots, but that mortgage lender, I mean, you really got to have somebody that has the experience, knows what they're doing, but is going to be, just diligent in their communication every step of the way, because for a lot of times it's a first time home buyer or maybe someone who hasn't done it in a while and really needs their hand held, for lack of a better way to put it. And Ryan does a really good job of that. So getting into a little bit of the nuts and bolts here. Ryan, what separates you and Bank of Springfield from maybe another lender somebody might be working with?
Yeah. Most people, most lenders, anybody who's still in this business are fantastic. They work a lot of hours. They work extremely hard. I've worked with some of the top-notch lenders around. I've learned a lot. I listen to what they have going on. I really like our bank. Couple reasons why. Family owned, really nice. I could text the president at any time and he's going to respond back to me and just say, hey, what do you think? When I lend, I try to lend like it's my own money. So maybe sometimes the borrower doesn't fit into the regular Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac program, but they're still great borrowers for a reason that they don't just qualify for that. So sometimes we look at the portfolio loans. We offer the bridge loans. We offer just different types of financing if it comes down to that. I do like a little bit better of a credit. I like to say, yes, I would loan this person money. Therefore, I feel real strong about this. We service loans, we sell loans. No matter what, we're trying to take care of you the best way we can out there.
Okay, very good. I appreciate that. That's helpful. You talked a little bit about, bridge loans, some of the specific programs or, packages you guys offer. I'm curious to know, in my friend group and family as well, there's a lot of first-time home buyers.
Yep.
And if you don't mind, we're jumping a little bit off here, but if you don't mind touching on first-time home buyers, maybe some incentives or programs you guys have. I know we're going a little off cuff, but maybe just kind of jump into the first time homebuyer sphere just for a second and tell me kind of what that looks like with Bank of Springfield, how you specialize in that, and maybe just some advice that you might have.
Yeah, depending on income, that's really important. What we do is try to do that. So as you know, what all lenders try to do is look at, tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs. We want to see what's out there. I want to take a look at their credit. I want to see what kind of income they're looking at. And then after I get their income, I can really sit down and talk to them to say, all right, is an MHDC a little bit better for you? Or is it low to moderate income? Is this going to help you out at? Where are you at to where we do? There's times, Giuseppe, as you've seen, we've been able to give bank programs with little down or maybe a credit to help them out. Here's $1,000 credit from the bank that helps out because of their income where they're sitting at. So when we run the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, it kind of gives us the opportunity to say, okay, they can qualify for this, or they get a little bit better of an interest rate, or their mortgage insurance is a little bit cheaper. But basically, what I need to see is their tax returns, their W-2s, their pay stubs, to put them in the best situation possible. Obviously, the better credit you give me, the better program I can give you. And we price everything off of the credit score. So when we're looking at that, it does matter.
Okay, very good. Very good. Another thing that comes to mind when you're talking through W-2 and whatnot, and again, we're going a little off cuff here, but I myself, being 1099, when first kind of jumping into the home buying, mindset, there were some things that I didn't necessarily think about with, um, qualifications for or pre-qualifications for that loan, one of them being, how long you've been working that 1099 job. So for our folks that are, you have a lot of them these days, maybe business owners or somebody who's looking to start up a business, but also thinking about buying a home. What do you kind of want to see from those folks that are 1099 in terms of how long they've, maybe been in this business or how does that look for, I guess, a 1099 individual?
Yeah. So sometimes you're looking at 2 years, sometimes you're looking at a year. Sometimes we have to put it into the bank because it doesn't fit the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac program. Are we looking at a straight 30-year fixed? Are we looking at an arm? What is the best position we're putting these borrowers in? Tax returns are coming up soon. What are they going to be writing off? What are they not going to be writing off? What can we show as far as income goes? So when we're doing a loan and we get everything together, we're putting them in the best situation possible.
Very good. I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what you had said. You lend like it's your own money. And I mean, I can attest to that using you as my personal guy,
Yeah.
you very much so, yeah, walk that walk. So, moving on here, curious about starting out the new year. What advice would you have for someone? Kind of already touched on it, but looking to buy in 25. Is there anything that here in January, we kind of need to be looking out for in the months to come, or just maybe some financial tips or anything at all,
Yeah.
someone looking to buy in 25?
Yeah. So obviously being involved, for a long time in lending, I'm all about payment. I ask all borrowers right away, what do they want their payment to be? Not how much they're approved up to. What do you want your payment to be? If you tell me you need to be under $2,000 and this is what you're looking at, I can't have you go out there and look at a home $100,000 more than what you're approved up to. I try to get the opportunity of looking at what taxes and insurance would be on the house and working up the payment and then saying, okay, with these numbers, you need to be finding somewhere around this dollar amount, whether it's 350, 325, 400, wherever they're at, or $150,000. Sometimes borrowers have to wait. Sometimes it's a great time to purchase because, hey, I can get this house and I'm comfortable with this payment. I always go off a payment, not what the purchase price would be. So whenever I come back to you, Giuseppe, and I say, hey, you're looking at this is the max that they're at. So you're not showing them houses that are way more expensive and thinking that they can afford this. I want to get them comfortable on the payment. That's something I've always done and I prefer to do. Um, and I think it helps out the borrowers.
I love that idea. It's kind of like working backwards in a way, and it's something that
Yes.
I've kind of taken from you as well. Sitting down with somebody, yeah, what do you want your payment to be? Because most people are, financially savvy when it comes to that. They know what they're spending in, their cell phone bill or their internet or something along those lines. So yeah, let's factor in that monthly mortgage, then kind of work backwards from there. And I think, yeah, you make a really good point with not falling in love with a home, going out and shopping outside of your price range before really knowing what you can or what you can comfortably afford is important because, yeah, you don't want anyone to get discouraged after maybe going out for a couple weeks looking at something outside of their range and now they have to come back to reality. So that's a really good point. Kind of piggybacking on that, Ryan, there's been talks of, I think rates are right now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, 7.2-ish and some, a little bit of change. People have talked about, I got a lot of folks that were bought in the last year or so. Hey, Giuseppe, when's going to be the right time to refinance? Or, I mean, broad picture here, what advice do you have for a current homeowner in 25? Are we looking at, I know you don't have the crystal ball working perfectly, but are we looking at maybe an opportunity for folks who bought around the sevens, mid sevens to potentially refi and 25, or if it's maybe not refinance advice, do you have any other kind of financial wisdom, banking wisdom for the folks that are currently homeowners?
Yeah. So you're right. I don't have a crystal ball and I really don't know what will happen. I don't think anybody really does, right? Everybody always says, oh, they're going to do this or that. I honestly think if you have a good relationship with your lender, you shoot that lender a text and say, hey, listen, if I can save, anytime I can start to save some money here or I can reduce my term, I'm really looking forward to that. So we always have lists and we have things that come up. And obviously, lenders would love to do the refi. So we'll be reaching out as well. But if you have somebody that you like to deal with, you just say, hey, listen, if things start to drop, don't forget about me. When is a good time to refinance? We normally look at our pipelines and say, boy, we could start to save this guy this much. And then a lot of times we reach out to them with just a little quick text. And sometimes they say it's not the great time right now, or I'm going to wait, or something might happen. And that's okay too. You just want to have that open communication of what's going on, a quick text, a quick call. We love to hear from past clients and just say, hey, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with the market? And we run numbers. That's what we pretty much do. We run numbers to see what the savings is. I think you trust a guy you've dealt with before, and if you got a problem, you call a couple other people around. It's that simple.
Absolutely. That reminds me, I mean, you talked about sending out a text or, kind of running the numbers for your folks, seeing if you can save them any money and reaching out. I think that's important to note with Ryan as well for being the lender that he is, the service that you get on your loan. A lot of folks from my experience, yeah, will get you taken care of on the lending side, and then you really don't hear from them, whether it be just a check-in or if you have an issue, it kind of get ghosted in a way. And I mean, I can speak for Ryan being my personal guy, is that I mean that's not the case. You know, service is sometimes hard to come by, and I mean Ryan is as good as it comes. So definitely appreciate that. And yeah, I think that was important to note.
And same to you. Remember, this is a team, right? So this is a team. Our goal is to get to the closing table where everybody's shaking hands and saying, great, things are going to come up. Things are going to come up in our closings. Things are going to come up with inspections, appraisals, anything like that. We all have to put it all on the table and kind of talk and try to figure everything out with the listing agent, with the buyer's agent, with me, with appraisal, with homeowners insurance. I mean, our ultimate goal is for everybody to get to the table, shake hands, and say, you promised a payment, you promised this, the down payment, and everything worked out. And we're moving forward. We're happy with it all.
That's right. That's right. All right. I feel like we've gotten some pretty good information so far. I would like to kind of wrap things up with something maybe on a little bit more like a personal level, maybe a recent story or situation, Ryan, where you were given, and we see plenty of them, an unforeseen challenge that you were able to overcome. You got any recent examples?
Yeah, of course. This past weekend, actually, Friday night around 6:30, I got a text to see if I was available for a quick call. I took the call. On Saturday, I was able to do the full application, got the documents in, reviewed, and sent out a pre-approval. Sunday, they wrote the contract. All offers had to be in by 4 o'clock. You know how they like that. And then Monday morning, got the call that they were able to be under contract. So it's something I'll be working on. So just a local person that you could talk to that you know pretty well. We're going to jump quick. We need these loans. So we take that. We got it all going, and I think that the person they were working with wasn't returning their call. And when the market's hot and you see a property, you have to get on it right away. So I'm glad we were able to get them under contract.
You gotta jump. And let me piggyback on that because we are seeing more and more, kind of took a pause there during the winter months, the whole all offers due by Sunday afternoon, first showing start Friday, where you only had that little bit of a window to act on something. And if you don't have somebody local, like, local lender like Ryan, I mean, you're gonna have a hard time. Somebody not returning calls. But, again, the whole unison thing, if you got a team working for the same goal, you'll be able to make it happen. So that's an awesome story there. And yeah, we'll probably see more of that this year.
Yeah,
So, Brian, I really appreciate it. I'm going to share contact information for you for anyone
thanks.
that, might be looking to buy in 25 or might just have some questions about their current situation, their current home ownership situation, and maybe want to bounce something off Ryan. I think he's a great person to reach out to. Again, been my personal guy for a while now, and I don't know how many deals we're at together, but the trust is there. And again, Ryan, thanks so much.
You do a fantastic job, man. And there's a lot of great agents out there. We try to do the best we can for everybody. Keep doing what you're doing. You're kind of new in this business, but you also do a great job. You've learned from the best. Your mom was fantastic. 7 years. It's unbelievable. We've been doing this for 7 years. That's crazy.
7 years, man. Yeah, 7 years. And it seems like, yeah, yesterday. And like you said, I truly grateful for the 30 years of following, my mom,
Yes,
starting out whenever she was working off the pager, the beeper, and
yes, yes,
we're running to an appointment after that beeper went off. I know about it. So
yeah.
been around it for a long time. And again, thanks so much and look forward to the next one.
Sounds great, bud. We'll see you.